In this lesson, we're actually going to use the spinning wheel with some fiber. But don't get too excited because we're going to use bought yarn. And the reason why is that it's this spinning thing is kind of like walking and chewing gum at the same time. It's a little weird in terms of getting it all worked out. So we're going to try to make that a little bit easier just by using some commercial yarn so you get the idea of what's going to be happening. So first things first, I've attached a piece of commercial yarn already to this spool. So I'm going to take it and I'm going to wrap it around one of these coffee hooks, and I'm going to use my orifice hook, and I'm going to place the orifice hook through the orifice to the other side, catch my yarn, and then bring it through. So that is how you're going to begin to spin, by attaching unspun thread to this piece of yarn. Now I said that we're just going to use some bought commercial yarn, and that's what I've got. So I'm just going to make it easy, and I'm going to tie those two pieces together. So I'm going to use my weaver's knot to just connect these two pieces of yarn, the one coming off from the spool as well as the one that is commercially bought. And the nice thing about that weaver's knot from my other video is that it makes nice and tight. So I'm going to just use my hand. I'm going to roll this on a little bit. And that's fairly tight, so I'm going to loosen my Scotch brake so it'll free a little easier, and then we'll just have to adjust accordingly as we do. Now, what I want to do is I'm going to spin to the clockwise direction. So let's get it going. Now, by adjusting this knob, I can control how fast this wants to pull in. And I simply want you to get comfortable with the idea that by changing this, you can make this harder or looser. Just get the feel of letting the yarn slide through your hand. Now, it's going to be different when it's not spun, but at the moment, this is just a good way to kind of get the concept down. So pause your wheel. Move your yarn to the next hook. Some people do it all on one side first. I prefer to go one side to the other side. And then continue on. Give the wheel a gentle push to the right. And then just let the yarn slip through your hand. And then put some resistance. So if you watch, the more resistance, the tighter that twist is going to become. So by letting it go and then keeping it tight here, you're letting all the twist occur in front of your hand, and then when you turn it loose, it begins to twist again. So that is what makes this motion a little strange. But just go through and see if you can just get the feel for it. For at this point, you're not focusing on using unspun fiber. It's just some of the mechanics of the wheel. That's it. Just continue on, moving your yarn to the next hook, and just practice feeling it pull into the spool, and then adjusting your wheel tension by using the Scotch brake or another knob that can be adjusted, and just see what it does to the speed. You can get where it just really yanks it in, where you'll feel like you're being pulled into the spinning wheel, and that is something that you'll get adjusted to over time and learn how the proper speed and the proper adjustments make all the difference. End of this lesson. Thanks much.